Hi there, lovely people. Tempest here from Times with Tempest. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today's video is about my 2020 War Binder. The top of the year is the time when people are setting goals, setting intentions, and just trying to make sure that they put their best foot forward to have a great year. My War Binder contributes to that. So if you want to know a little bit more about what a War Binder is, why I created a War Binder, and how I created my War Binder, be sure to stick around. And while you're here, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button so that we can hang out more often. So this is my War Binder that I created. So the first question is, what exactly is a War Binder? Well, I do some visual journaling, which we can talk about at another time. And while I was doing some research and kind of looking for some resources for those, I came across War Binders. I didn't know what a War Binder was initially either. And it looks like from my research, when the movie War Room came out, if you remember that, and if you haven't seen it, you should go look for it. It's a Christian movie based on the power of prayer, and it's really, really good. And so some people started realizing, well, they can't really create a war room or a prayer closet of sorts in their home. So they reverted to, maybe I can just do that in a notebook. And so essentially a War Binder, you might hear it called different names, like a faith journal or a prayer journal. It's just a space for you to write, journal, document your walk with God, okay? So that's what a War Binder is. The second question is, well, why did I want to create a War Binder? A couple of reasons, full transparency. I do some visual journaling just with art and, mixed media. And I realized that during that kind of self-care time, I was incorporating some prayers and some scripture readings and things in that. But it started to feel all over the place because I was using that visual journal for other reasons as well. So I wanted to take a moment to say, how can I have a space that's just about my spiritual connection to God? Enter the War Binder. The second reason was I have not done a good job being consistent with Bible reading and prayer and with my sermon notes from church. So where I go to church, when you walk in, they give you cards for you to take notes. Well, what happens to those cards after I leave service? They get folded up, put in my pocket, put in my purse, left in the car, and eventually in the trash. So again, enter War Binder to help with that solution. So I'm gonna cut to show you how I created this, and then we'll go over the contents together. So before I put my War Binder together officially, I thought that it would be important just to kind of show you what I purchased in terms of materials, why I purchased it, and how it's all gonna work to put it together. I went to Office Depot looking for some type of notebook or binder to do this, and I didn't really see anything that caught my eye. So before I decided to, make a trip to Walmart or Target to look for something different, I happened to go down a different aisle and discovered the Tool Custom note-taking system. I believe that this is exclusive to Office Depot, but I'm sure you could get it online. And what caught my eye was the fact that it's a disc-bound notebook, and I love disc-bound notebooks. I think my first disc-bound notebook might have actually been my Happy Planner, and what I love about them is that they're customizable. You can take pages out, you can add pages in, and they are a flat surface. So when you open it and flip it over and you're writing, it's flat. Whereas something like a 3-ring binder, you won't really be able to flip it over. They make some that do that, but the traditional ones, not so much. So I decided to go with this. And what I like about it is that even though it looks a little small to begin with, Tool does make different size discs, so I would be able to change that out in a while. They have dividers and pocket dividers. Full transparency, the Tool system products are not the cheapest products on the market. This hole punch is a little pricey, so I won't be getting that anytime soon. But I do think that what I have purchased will get me going and off to a good start for what I'm trying to accomplish initially. So this is, again, the notebook that I purchased. The next thing that I got was a new cover. It was really interesting that they had the Tulle notebooks with cute pinks and blues and kind of shimmery colors, but they were more expensive than this plain black one. And then they make these for you to change out this plain black here. And it's, again, cheaper to just buy this and change it out than it was to get one that was already kind of put together for you. The next thing that I got was the tab dividers, because I am going to have sections in my war binder, so stay tuned to learn more about those. And then again, I got another pack of refill paper, and I got assorted colors. So if you look at this, if you can see it, it has some pink and yellow and green hues to this that I'll be able to add to the notebook as well. I went ahead and opened my dividers, and because I knew that I didn't want them to just be plain like this or just kind of have a plain divider sticker label there, I decided to get these. I got these from Office Depot as well. They are full sheets, sticker paper, clear. When you buy these, you just type in avery.com/print and the product number here, and you get the template to be able to do anything to the template that you want to do. What's really important is that you make sure that you buy the product for the printer that you have. And I have a laser printer, so it's really important. You'll find tons of Avery materials that are inkjet specific, but this was necessary because I needed it for my laser printer. So this is what the sheet looks like. It's glossy there. You'll just be able to peel the backing off here where it's perforated and then stick it on. So I was working on the samples and making sure that everything prints out appropriately on just plain white printer paper before messing with the sheets. And one of the things that I noticed is that when I take it off and get ready to stick it on, it's gonna cover the holes there. You see that? So if I just slide it over to uncover the holes, now it's going to cover the tab that'll allow me to flip it over. So what I'm gonna have to do is mark the sheet about here and then just trim down the excess so that it starts away from the holes, but it also doesn't cover up the tab on the end. So what I wanted to do here was to take a moment to show you exactly how it's customizable. You'll see that now I'm pulling off the back piece, and it will sound like you are breaking something when you're tugging away to pull it out of the confines of the disc. But it's really easy. You just pop it off, and when you're adding something in, you want to do the same thing and just press it in to make sure that it's in there nice and snug, and the disc will do the work of holding it all in place. All right, so now that you have kind of gotten an idea of all the materials that I use and how I put the Tulle notebook system together, I want to flip through it with you so that you can see the sections that I've decided to include in my war binder. Full disclosure, there is no wrong way to do it. You might not agree with the sections that I put in here. You might think that that's an awesome idea that you can replicate. There are tons of different types of sections or categories that you can create in your war binder. And if you go to my blog, timeswithtempest.com, you'll see the post that I wrote about that gives you some ideas and references to some other resources for you, okay? So I'm gonna flip through and just kind of show you the sections that I created and why I created these sections. So the first one is titled, using the label sticker paper that I showed you, Brandon and Tempest. It was important to me that I take time to create a section where I could keep my husband lifted, but also keep our union lifted, and just kind of think about and reflect and pray for God to move in our lives to, continue to bless us as he always has, but that he also allow us to be a blessing. So it's my hope that I'll be able to, again, articulate very specific prayers for my husband, for our careers, our finances, future business ventures, anything like that, so that we can have a stronger connection together. The next section is family and friends. So here, I hope to just be able to keep my parents and siblings and cousins and aunts and uncles, and have a massively large family lifted, but as well as my friends from college, my friends that are in my small group from church, and I wanted to dedicate a section to them. The next section is sermon notes. I'm excited to be able to take this with me to church on the weekends and not get any more cards that get thrown all over the place, and just be able to keep all the notes together. My pastor does a lot of series, and so it'd be nice to be able to come back and study those, how one sermon from one weekend connects to the sermon the weekend before, and just be able to study that. The next section is Bible study. This one's for my own Bible study time, where I can be intentional about writing and reflecting from the Bible stories that I'm reading and what I am gleaning from those. And then this final section is kind of a catch-all. It's called GEMS, General Prayers and Testimonies. And it's my hope that here I can write down, a lot of times when I'm on social media and scrolling, I follow some folks that post really inspirational things on their social media page. So just being able to take those things and write them there, as well as general prayers. Again, sometimes people post prayer requests. I don't know them, but that doesn't mean that I can't pray for them. I can put those here as well. And then testimony. So I'm really excited to be able to write in this section to record what God has done, not only for me and my husband and those that I'm connected with or connected to, but even those people that I don't know, because I know that if God can do it for them, he can do it for me as well. So I'm really excited about this section. Again, this is my war binder for 2020. I just encourage you all to think about whether or not this is something that would be beneficial to you. It is my hope and my prayer that I will use it, right? I put it together and I want it to be intentional about that, with one of my goals for 2020 being a stronger spiritual connection to God. So, like this video, leave a comment, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you have a war binder, you've created one in the past, or you plan to create one. Let's keep this conversation going, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.